from Magnetic North Magnet Fishing, and today I'm going to be doing a bit of mudlarking in Sheffield, Yorkshire. And I'm just looking at the River Don, and Treasure Island number 2 is actually quite exposed. So I'm going to have a look down there in a moment, and I'll have a look near the old tool works as well to start, and then walk towards city centre. Back with you shortly. So that's Brightside Weir, Treasure Island number 2, outer city. You have got a lot of deep water on the side, but yeah, I'll have a look at that shortly, and I'm going to be doing an area down here as well, next to the old Riley's Tool Works. So just found these, a brick that says Thistle and Sug Elco. Those are going to be Victorian. And just here, nice piece of blue and white ware with a tree and a house on. Down here in the shallows, I've just seen an old animal tooth just there. So where I am now, this area, there used to be a Tudor mill in the area, and animals would have been used in the area. And just down here, piece of old bone, but they're used to make handles and things from. And I've just come across this thing. Don't know what it is, it's aluminium. Interesting shape to it. Just there. And just down here, seen this metal clip and a piece of clay pipe stem. And here we've got a fire silica brick, and this one cinder brick. So both fire bricks. Those are going to be from 1900 onwards. And just down there, another piece of clay pipe. Oh, yep, something there. Porcelain, brass on either end, some sort of insulator maybe. Interesting. And just here there's a brick fire clay type Atlas, and there is a place in Sheffield called Atlas, so that will be a local one. And I've just had this broken down saw blade, iron, but could still be used as a personal sharpener for something back in the day. It's probably at least 50 to 100 years old, could be older. So this is coming down to Treasure Island Part 2, outer city, and just as you get down onto the island, or the first part of the island, the main island's over that way, you've got so much stuff to look through, it's impossible to pick everything up, but every time I come I'll always pick bits up, and it helps the environment. It goes all the way down there, across the island and onto that middle bit over there. Now the water levels here can rise to the top of that wall, and as you can see from the trees, there's debris really high up. So I'm going to make a start and I'll get back to you shortly when I've picked a few bits up. So just walking around, I've just spotted a nice unusual shaped bottle. Probably 1930s, so that's Art Deco sort of style. No damage. Nice. And just down here, bit of an old carved knife handle, bone. As you can see, there's lots of pottery and glass and things, and the main island is just over there. And just down here, there's a bottle, fragment, war grade. So just seeing this, it's a copper vent of some sort, quite old. So again, that's going with me. And a nice piece for Sheffield A15, fragment of a ginger beer bottle from the Victorian period, 1890s. And just down here, 5p. Nice. Always a bonus. Fragment of a mineral water bottle with the lion and pictorial. 1899 dated. So yeah, that's definitely Sheffield memorabilia, Sheffield mineral water. So that noise you can hear, that's the weir. So just down here is the remains of where a knife has been pressed out. That's an interesting item for Sheffield. So you do always have to watch this and keep an eye on the levels, because it can rise quite quickly, and any sign of rain, you just have to leave the area immediately. It's always safety first. And just down here, I've just found a knife just there. Just quite an old one, but it's not been in too long, so that will be removed as well. Just had this out, Mineral Water Company, Spardle D Limited, Manchester. So I've just picked up this Tennant Brothers Exchange Brewery, Sheffield, 1912 bottle stopper and top. Over 100 years old, year of the Titanic. So this is on Treasure Island, outer city, and you do have to be very careful at all times, because there's lots of things that you can trip over on, lots of hazards. But this is what inner city mudlarking is, and always ensure you've got your waders on and gloves if possible, unless you've got waterproof gloves, they're highly recommended for in the water. Now there is bits here which are very heavily embedded, like this cycle, and that's one of the old schemes that they used to have for bikes in the area. That will have to be reported to the Rivers Trust, or OFO bikes, and it was a pay to go scheme. And then across here you see you've got more loose rock, more mudlarking areas, and down into the water down there and onto the other bit of the island. So just come across this area, there's a bit of clay pipe there, and just over here there's a bit of old brick, but there's a lovely green marble in there, so I'll be rescuing that as well. Nice. And then just over here we've got part of an old crucible smelting pot. So I've just had this bit of a clay pipe bowl, quite small, so that's going to be about 1880 in date, maybe a bit before. So when you've got areas like this, you really do have to look absolutely everywhere. It's very easy to miss things, but there's always something every time there's been a flood. So always keep an eye out, always be careful, and you'll find things. Just here there's a very old timber fragment. So that is a bit of old timber. Could be quite early. But I always look for things that I like or things I can reuse. And just here, another bit of a clay pipe, a very small one, child's one. There's just too much to actually get everything. And it goes up that way. And here we've got a wood carving of a salmon, which is quite an old carving, but unfortunately there's no plaques to say who's made it. This has been here years, carved out of a log, just there. So I've just had some vintage hubcaps from old cars. I'll show you those in a bit. Just go across the little bit of the river now and make my way out of here. So this is some of the finds that turned up today. Got bits of bone, graphite weights, bits of bottle, clay pipes, knife, a marble, bits of saw, a tooth. Now this here is actually a lipstick holder, and it's there we are, satin smooth, number 7. So that's going to be 1920s, 30s, and it's brass. And we've got all these bits, car bits, industrial bits. Found that plant wire, which is going to be reused. That's interesting. There's a bottle, a grind wheel, bits of aluminium, an old junction box, copper and iron, and a very early smelting pot there, which is going to be 16th century, 17th century. Bits of bone, copper sink plug holder, and this piece, square cylinder inside, and that's a mould for making something from the 18th century. We've got these fishing weight there, blue and white pottery, bit of leather, and the money, the knife, and oddments. So we've got this old copper vent here, hubcaps from various old cars, I'm not sure which ones they are. The insulator, some old coal from being ferried down the canal and rivers, bone, bit of the Sheffield ginger beer bottle, more bone there. Got this here, which as you can see has got a hole right through it, and that's been used as a very early fishing net weight. And then we've got this copper item, probably part of a baking tray or something. So when you are mudlarking, always remember, keep an eye on the water levels, and always watch your footing. There's plenty of slippery rocks in there, and you don't want to be falling over. So always, if you can, go with somebody. If you can't, only go where you've been before and where you know the conditions underfoot. Do keep an eye on the rain levels, because that can drastically change a river within minutes, and sometimes you can get a sudden gush of flood water come down from all the other rivers connecting. So also, only take what you can carry. If it's too heavy, you're going to hurt yourself, and that's never a good thing, is it? So this is another adventure with Lee at Magnetic North Magnet Fishing, doing a mudlarking history tour in Sheffield. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. Bye for now, everyone. Hope everyone's well.